The topic today is how to pay directly to God, and God will accept your tithe and offering, and the type of givings God take as a matter of covenant with Him and as a matter of point of contact. But before I move on, I want us to listen to one of the agents or middlemen between Jesus Christ and mankind. One of the recent in our time in this generation is Pastor Adeboye's son. Um, Pastor is in our Leke Adeboye. A round of applause
First
for him, please,
fruit
the stage.
increase, first fruit sacrifice, two different things. Okay? It's very simple. One is giving the increase that you get as an offering. So say you were being paid a salary of 500 naira last year, and by January 20 or any time throughout 2020 it has become 501 naira. You give that 1 naira as your increase. You will tithe your regular 500 as it is 10%, which will be 50 naira. But the one, you would just give it as an increase. That is the first fruit increase. Bam. The first fruit sacrifice, like Abraham did by putting Isaac up, is the whole thing. So you might choose to give your whole January sacrifice, the whole thing. If it's a salary, by the way, because this is in different levels depending on your relationship with God, depending on your understanding and your depth that you have with God, or whatever agreement you have with God. This is personal, super personal. You don't even have to give anything. It's a sacrifice. Don't have to give anything. As sacrifices go, some people who remain there that don't sacrifice anything, but some people will sacrifice for them. Queue in Jesus. You don't have to die for the whole world. The whole world didn't come and die for him. Anyway, so we don't miss the point. So you can give your salary or well, I will start this slowly. I'm trying not to use the word earnings because that I have to explain that part depending on your depth of relationship with God. So you could give the whole of January salary as a first increase of the month or first income of the month of the year, of the first month of the year. The first fruit sacrifice is when you just give the whole thing, and as in your account will be like 0.00 minus 00. And then depending on which level your relationships is with God or what you're trying to achieve in the year. I have goals. One of them will scare you. I'm trying to save up my age that will be this year as my savings for this year. That's just one of my goals. And I'm not talking in thousand. God will help me, because I don't even know where that way is coming from. But at least, hey, if I aim high, I really aim really high, I might just be on one of those Elon Musk space shuttles going to space, man.
Okay, for those of you who will remain on Earth, you are not going to space with Elon Musk. And those of you whose goal is heaven, like you want to make heaven, you are not going to be joining Elon Musk and other, what do you call these people, that are going into space, are going to be in other planets or mutants or whatever. For those of you who will remain faithful to God according to the doctrines by your geos, um, what we'll do is this. If anybody asks you for tithe, offering, first fruit, whoever specifies anything, whoever specifies anything that you must pay in the name of serving God or worship to God or salvation, such a person should give you direct account of God. So God will now take the money directly, because according to them, it is your point of contact with your creator. Your creator needs money Even though Jesus said, give to Caesar what is of Caesar, in our generation, government created money, government prints money and uses it as means of exchange. Uh-huh. What God created, for instance, with the first man, was a garden, like we have the earth. This earth is like Garden of Eden. The entire earth is the space God created for mankind to inhabit and maintain. Therefore, there's the universe composed of various forms of nature. You can communicate with nature, with the universe, through these various forms of nature. Some go to the water, some go use the work of God through nature to communicate with God. Say, God, like, like you created this sea. No one can explain the source, and it is this magnitude. People use that size of ocean to talk to God, like communicate with God. To say, no, no, I know that you exist because I can perceive life through this water moving. There is wave, there is movement, there are creatures in it. Nobody is doing anything to make the water continue to exist or flow. It is there as nature, and God gave us, say, continue to maintain this, keep it clean. All right. Now, what God requires of us is already very clear. And the worship of God does not have to be by any idol or any human, but you can worship God through them. For instance, maintaining and keeping nature to continue to rebound is one of the ways to keep what God wants you to do for the next generation and for mankind and for human and for nature. Through human, when God says, give, it shall be given unto you. You are helping nature, the nature cycle to continue. You are helping life cycle if you are giving to somebody who is in need. Because there's something that happens to your conscience when you do it. And you will know right there, that no, by doing this, I know that it has impact on that person taking it. For instance, the person may be hungry, and you give the person. There's something that drops in your life. It's like a credit to you, and it goes into your there's a sense of satisfaction, like I just gave and I am happy. The joy in your heart that you gave, and that giving is impactful or has some significance on the person to whom you have given it. Baba, you don't make impact. That is how to give to God. You have more, somebody has none or little and needs, you give. That is your tithe. I am not saying don't give to church. What I have issues with is claiming that you are giving it to God. The account number you gave us, sir, is your own. Is that of the church that you head the board of trustees. And how you spend that money, you don't give the account back to those of us who are contributing. So I have a problem with that. We are not giving it to God. Sorry. It's not going to, except you can give me God account number. Let me pay it directly. And let God administer the money and give you the share He wants you to take for yourself. The origin of tithing, we all know. The Levites, there are people whose land is not allocated to them, so they really can't farm. Those who had farmlands, they told them, since you have, and these people focus exclusively, they don't have land. Our pastors have land now. In fact, they have more than the members. Levites are priests, concentrated priests without allocated land. So those who have land, like for instance, if I'm born into a family and that family has large expanse of land, we can farm. We are required to bring a portion of harvest or proceeds from our own land activity, land operations, so that we can help the Levites who have no land for which to farm. That's the origin of tithing. Government created money generations later, and that money became means of exchange between humans. Has nothing to do with God. So when they say give unto Caesar what's of Caesar, government printed money and wants to take back tax from your earning to continue to maintain the space and run the affairs of the state and administrations. Tax, understandable. Even Jesus said it. Give unto the government what tax is of the government. Not give to pastors who are not even Levites. Money printed by government under claim or illusions or deceptions that you are giving to God. So you're not giving to God by giving to pastor. I'm not saying don't give them, but I'm saying if you have 10% to give, from that 10%, whatever you feel in your heart, like, oh, let this go to supporting church for this month. I have 100,000, 10,000 is my tithe. Decision now. Church, take 2K. My neighbor who doesn't have, my brother, how you doing? You don't chop today? I never chop. Take 2K from your tithe. That's how to spend your tithe. This one, okay, you need this. Take. Some of you who are donating to build churches and mosques, your family house no get toilets. The one where them get na shalanga, we no get. No, you have not considered it. There are in some families there are about say 6 to 10 children. Distant cousins, relatives, and all. When you go to the village, you are expecting one uncle to come and be the one to renovate the toilet. All of you are paying tithe. If all of you decide that no, our tithe this month, we are going to rebuild our toilets, you will be adding to humanity for starting from home. Charity begins from home. But you are giving to church that already has everything, including private jets. If you decide that, oh no, our dad is old and needs proper care in the village, all of us are in the city, we are busy. Oh, your tithe is more meaningful if all of you in that family contribute that your 10%. If you want to give 2% to church, out of that tithe, give. It's fine. Your faith. It doesn't lock or unlock heaven. Nah, lie. It's just a gift. The remaining, commit it. Our Father needs better care. The remaining 88%, you can take 5% out of it. Say, oh yeah, you should go to this. The remaining go to charity in the name of the family. Family tithing is important than church tithing. All of you come together. So, okay, as a family, our tithe this month, what do we use it to do? As a covenant, yes. This month, as a covenant, we want to make sure that we take care of so this month. And as a family, all of you bring your 10% together. Say, as a family, we pray, God, this is what we were committed to this month. As a family, we want to do this. Come and see what will happen to that family in the next 1 year. No, you even start seeing results within 3 months. If you don't see results, then change. Go back to your church. But as a family, it will promote family ties and bond. It will promote progress, development as a family. Instead of 1 million mumus from 10,000 different families coming to give only one church, how does it contribute to humanity starting from your home place? Is it not wickedness that you have somebody who is in need, dire need, in your family, but you prefer to take that money to a pastor who is already overfed. I understand it is a brainwash that did not start just one day, and it will take a lot of contemplations. That is why we must continue to detune it from people's brain. It's serious brainwash because it took years to stay in your brain and has conditioned. So to remove it will take, we know, it's a lot of hard work. And that's why we are taking pains to do that hard work, to remove the chains from your head, because it's an enslavement. It's an enslavement such that, you know, there used to be chains on the hand if they want to enslave people. It used to be chain on the hand. They now decided to modernize the chain. They took it away from your hand and placed it on your mind. In other words, in your brain. So they have already caged you. It is hard to break out. It is very hard, I understand, because it is a mind thing. Mind is very strong. It's a mind thing. You have been so committed. You have gone deep. It's hard to, it's a prison. Religion is an organized form of imprisonment, mental imprisonment. Slavery, burukuni. Look at the audacity with which this young man is telling people, using toothpick to mock them while he's chewing their first fruit and no, see the audacity. Like your first, the increase. If let's say he was calculating for you how to spend your sweat, the audacity, man. That audacity, man. Omomo for what him go like you go and walk, you sweat, you face LASMA, you face police, you face this, you face that. They'll not come and tell you it's happening to you because you did not pay tax. You say, boy, I pay. They say your first fruit. Did you get increase? Like did they increase the salary? Yes, I got promotion. You got promotion 6 months ago, and your salary increased by 10,000. The first increase, the first 10,000 you collected, you are supposed to bring it in addition to your tithe, normal, apart from normal tithe, you now bring that increase again. On top of that, every Sunday you still give offering. Special project, they want to build toilets, you still pay donation. They want to build larger or the kilometer by kilometer dimension auditorium, you still pay. End of the year, crossover night, they still collect last offering for the year, first offering for the new year, the same day, the same night. The first salary at the end of the first month of hard work, you still bring it as first fruit. How people here want to paying now? I'll kill you now. That's why you see them, they are working, they are structurally obese because them don't overfeed on all of you. You are looking slim, they are obese. Because they overchop on that. They go to declare fasting, give you, they go to big. You go to fast, they bring down. Shegun, calm down. I understand, it's mental cage. To break out of it has to be strong mind decision to say no, I can no longer be controlled by these ones. You came to this life without their knowledge. They cannot now be remoting your life. Look at them. If you see them work, try to see them working. They are overfed. They can't use fasting, they control your own life. They can't use tithes, offering, first fruits, increase. They can't take and control your own finance. Have they ever sat you down to say this is the account of the church, these amounts that came in from all tithes this month? This is how we are spending it. Does church not encourage transparency? Does God not have transparency? No, like does God not encourage transparency? Is there no transparency in church? No accountability in the house of God? No, now let's face it. The church should bring in an auditor, independent on the so yeah, as a church, because we are preaching holiness, right? We are preaching honesty, uprightness, righteousness. In that spirit, we want to audit the account of the church and let every member of the church know how we have been spending their money. But no, the brainwash include that they should ask you to defend it, that you should not do it. To say, no, touch not my anointed. Oh, you, God no anoint you. Now them he anoint to the remote your head. I know it's hard, you don't deep inside. Tete to come out now the shege happen. Now you will come realize, say, you come wise. I have a friend, he was always fighting me. Oh Lord, stop that thing. Oh Shagun, no, 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 no. You have always been like this. No, now, oh, God is not happy. God will be happy. When he traveled to UK in less than 3 months, and by himself, can't tell me, say, oh God, all those things where they talk now I understand. I say, He said, do you know that it's only old people just for social, just for them to have somewhere to go because they are expecting, their end any soon, are the only people who go to church where he stays in UK. Young people go to work. Say you will get like 3 work in a day and you still dey study, be waiting. Now you won't get time, they go sit down for church. Even if you go to church, they will still say, oh, excuse me. In fact, somebody was telling me when he first moved abroad, the church he attended with his wife, they were squatting, and then at the point they got some job and all that, they were now managing. They thought that they were doing fine. They now wanted to go and thank God in church. The church they first attended, they were now asking, oh, how can we? They noticed that they did not give them envelope to pay offering. So but how do we give offering in this church? After the service, they now call them together and say, where do you work? What do you do? What? Not to them, oh, we just came from Nigeria. Oh, you just came from Nigeria. So what's your income? What do you do? In other words, before you can even qualify to give offering, before you can qualify to even give offering, safe, they won't know whether you suppose give. They won't know. If you're not supposed to give, they will tell you, no, you're not supposed to give. If I can't tell them, say, no, you still need help. You should not be giving from that little you have. You still need help. Please see the welfare unit of the church. If you need anything, do let the church know. You understand? If you need anything, do not hesitate to let the church know your need. You were like, hey, for Nigeria where we come from, get a pastor go make you feel guilty. Say, you did not, your envelope did not contain your tithe this month. Brother Michael, what happened? What happened? They go still harass you. They go still harass you for Nigeria. You can't go abroad. They can't tell you, say, no, you are not qualified to give because you are not earning enough yet. They can't say, how about that? They say, no, 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 no. How much is your income that you still want to take 10% out of it? No. The church asks. The church is supposed to even help you. See the welfare unit. If you need a good job, you need recommendation, you need reference, do not hesitate. But boy, for you. That was the day he knew that they had been scamming him in Nigeria. The money was not going to God. God does not use GTB. God does not use UBA. God does not use Zenith Bank. God does not. The owner of the universe does not need the paper you are printing. Nah, the creator will create even your life. Just be like, see, I did one experiment with somebody recently. Fowl laid eggs. And then after the period, that he will normally lay on them, keep them warm. That egg, you fit break am chop, you fit break am. Na fluid, na liquid. um Yellow and white liquid. But that thing, if you give it the proper, it will become life. I con dey see days after, I con dey say all the chickens, they don dey fly, dey jump up and down, say because say no be those eggs that day be that. Ordinary egg wey be say if you don fry am chop. I say that is what God does. Nature, God, through the universe, the nature, composition of nature and the cosmos, that is what God is doing free of charge. Life free. Like life. For human being, for instance, now that fluid wey dey come out for your, that fluid, some fluid yẹn, life ni. If you no go put am for toilet o, if you no put am for rubber throw am away o, that fluid, if it goes into the right channel that God wants it to, God will just small breath. The way God is creating life freely every day, for fowl, for dog, for human being, for this, for that, nature. Imagine that God will give you life, go come need paper wey you him create your life. You can't create paper, dey deceive yourself, you wan come give God that paper. Is that not madness? No, is it not? Is it not insane? Good, you have invented the paper. You have invented it as a means of exchange among ourselves, human beings, ordinary humans, mortals. And I don't create the paper among ourselves to take do means of exchange. God can say, you will get, give who no get. Simple, finish. Man can create another rule for himself. Huh? All these so-called they are the ones that were anti-Christ. They are the human beings can't create their own laws. Can't talk say no at all. The poor should even give more to the rich. That was not God's commandment. God is not wicked. No. God is not. Don't see. Another trouble I have with these preachers is that you tell us about God. You tell us how good, how just, how kind God is. The same you will now come back and paint God in the weirdest wicked form. Just to control minds. You make God look kind, giving life, salvation, this. You make God look like that in one way. You now turn around and say, but if you don't give me 10% of your earning, God is a fire, is a brimstone, he can quench you, he can crush you. You are not making God look like Satan again. Now preachers, religious people, now them create God and Satan at the same time. The only thing we know in the physical form of expression is that life has polarities. For instance, there's day, there is night. There is light, there is dark. There is tall, there is short. There is earth, there's water. There is sky, there is everything. There's light, there's everything you can. There's male, there's female. Everything God creates has polarity. And that is how nature works. That's how nature works. There's good, there's evil. There is good, there's evil. That is the cosmos. That is the universe in the physical form, the most evident physical form of expression. That is nature. Polarity. Positive, negative. And there are charges to them if you maintain them well. There are charges. Nature charges. There's rain, there is sun, and they charge. Solar, hydro. God has perfected everything through nature. If you can't allow anybody lamba you, now your problem. Now your if you won't give. Okay, for instance now. Okay, let's do this. An experiment, oh, an experiment. Offering time, offering time. For instance now, look at the scrolling text. This is a UBA account. A UBA account that I sometimes, and a UBA and a PayPal account, an electronic form of account, that I sometimes use to take simple donations from people. And I will never tell you are giving to God. No. And of course, you are giving to God based on purpose for which we are using the fund. I give you an instance. I've been personally, although with support from time, but until recent time I stopped mentioning it so that it doesn't look like that's the only thing I'm occupied with. That young boy that was shot by police is 2020. Is how many years now? 4 years. November 2020. 4 years now. That boy, police refused to do it. They just went to dump the body. We now started fighting for justice. But in fighting for justice, apart from the lawsuit, the this, the that, the family we are helping, we're passing through a lot of things. We have to help with their accommodation to relocate them. We have to be helping them with feeding. We have to be at a point we have to set them up with small business while we are fighting legally for. But of course, Nigeria justice system. We try. We got tired. I left it. Adjournment at a point. I just said I'm tired of paying appearance to lawyers and all. I gave up. But we thank God with recourse to the universe. The universe blessed the family with a set of twins at first, and later that boy, that victim that was shot by police, the elder sister also now has another child now, another baby, making three within that period. And we thank God. Now we are looking to withdraw the boy to say, oh yeah, officially, let's go and bury the boy because I'm tired. I'm not happy that we have the boy in the morgue for 4 years, 4 solid years. As I speak with you right now, we are looking for money to just do something, get the body, look for any piece of land, just let the boy be properly buried. Now it is topmost in my heart because I can't wrap my head around it that there's so much resources in this country, but they are going to wrong things. Okay, fine. However little, that kind-hearted people, I know you must have, maybe you have not gone to the third service you are planning to go to, or you are going, or you have gone and come back. You may have given to church, fine. But this is a cost for you. And I will not tell you are giving it to God directly. I'll tell you you are using it to help humanity, which indirectly means you are still doing God's work. God will not take that money. God has no UBA account. Now human beings get UBAs, then it's GTB, First Bank, OPay, Momo. Now human beings get accounts. God no get bank accounts because He's already God over everything, not your paper inventions. I'm using this avenue to announce that we need funds. The father of that boy just came out of a very serious illness recently. Thank God for nature. Agbo and co. Now we go revive him. Agbo. Now you take revive him. As I speak with you now, he's on bed rest. You are trying to just make sure that he stabilizes again. You know, so these are when you are doing these things, you know that you are doing God's work. Like when you are doing something good for humanity, it will be in your heart. I don't know. No, I know everything I do. God. I'm not saying again. I have not said don't give to church. Anywhere you go, definitely needs maintenance. Wherever you like to go and associate and play, have fun, if you like, call it worshiping, praising God. You can praise God through your character, through your acts, through your giving. You can worship God in many ways. It's not until you go and join yourself with Streamboard fellows, wicked people. After they don't wicked themselves, Monday to Saturday, they come go church on Sunday, wear fine dress. That is not worship. Yes, worship in your own, by your own way of brainwash, as they don't make you believe, oh fine. But what God counts is not your attendance in church. Every simple act of kindness, every simple act of kindness counts before God. And you do it, you know it when there's satisfaction in your heart that, oh, I contributed to the success of this thing. I contributed to the progress and the growth of this thing. You know it in your heart that it counts. You know. How will you not know? You will know now. I am not here to mock Brother Likeo. No. I'm only saying, just like Paul did, the apostles did in the Bible, writing to themselves, the Galatians, the Corinthians. And I like what Pastor Adeboye did recently, to reverse himself by saying, no, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I apologize. Your tithe is not a requirement to go to heaven. That is what criticism does. Criticism is not to say, oh, yeah, kill him, oh, yeah, close the church down. Oh, yeah, I'm not doing it for that. Although there are some extreme comrades who will say, close it down, turn it to farm. Fine. But I'm not a, how do I put it? I'm not somebody who goes that direction. The only direction I can go with them there is, let's unify the churches. If you have a way, so that there won't be duplicity, plethora of churches lying side by side by side. You now be confused which one should I go to. Let there be unification of purpose so that the rest of the land can be committed for other useful purposes. I've not said stop worshiping. No, I've not said stop creating churches. No, I've not said stop going to church. No, I've only said the proliferation of these churches is depriving us of the land space for which we could have committed to other purposes, other useful purposes. You think God will be happy that everywhere has become church and there's nowhere to grow your tomato, nowhere to grow your yam, nowhere to grow your onion, nowhere to grow your. You think God is happy? Is that the purpose for which God created land as a material part of nature? I'm not sure. That's not the purpose for which God created the land. It's not for church to be everywhere. No. If there are no factories, where will people work and make money to bring their whatever, even if you like 100% or 40%? Where would they get money? If they are not working, if there are no farms, if there are no factories, if there are no production places of work. So for me, I don't believe in closing the church down. No. I only believe in merging them. Merge them. Let there be enough land space to commit to other purposes for which people are willing. They say, oh, Nigeria is a consuming nation. It's not the China you go, is it church that is everywhere? If China is like church everywhere, where will you be importing electronics from? In fact, now Chinese are giving us cassava. Imagine. Chinese are selling cassava to us. It's a long walk to freedom, but that's just my bit today. Whoever asks you to bring tithe, first fruit or whatever, ask them to give you God's account number. You want to do transfer direct to God if God uses bank. Otherwise, just say, yes, generously, I want to give. And this is the amount I have to give right now to church. Basic. When China, Japan, UK, USA were building schools and hospitals, Nigeria was building churches. Absolutely. Imagine now, you raise an entire kilometer by kilometer dimension, you clear it off potential food, clear potential agro products, clear potential to build church, and ask people to come and be praying for food on that same land where you cleared food. If it is not, I don't know what else to call it. Like kilometer by kilometer dimension of land space. You clear potential agro products, clear potential food, clear potential, clear them, and now build where people should come and kneel down like praying mantis and be praying for that food you cleared. That God should now provide the food you cleared from the land. You know, when they say this, they put spell in the hair. In Nigeria, now church be the spell. I'm not against gathering, no. I don't count church as a place of spiritual activity to go. No, no. It's an illusion. There's an illusion about that going on there, right? I see church as a necessity, not per se for worship. Mm-mm. I see it as a necessity for association. You have right to freedom of association. If your association is people you can come and discuss Bible together and pray and dance and wipe your sorrow, fine. I regard church same way I regard club, same way I regard bar, same way I regard gym, same way I regard other places of social gathering for purposes. You understand it? That's the same way I see God. I see church, not God. Because they are two same. God is different from church now. God is everywhere, even in the toilets. Is now dependent on you. How you want to, whether you want to communicate with God or you want to outsource. If you want to outsource communication with God to pastor, those middlemen collecting 10% for God. So for me, I would rather, please, we can't be deceiving ourselves. We've come a long way. We don't deceive ourselves. Tire now. You never do. So please, these middlemen, pastors, forgive me. You can start letting people know. Oh yes, we did some teachings before. That yes, we must tell ourselves some realities. There were some errors. Pastor Adeboye did that already, and it's beautiful. Giving should be generous and voluntary. How much? Generously and voluntary. How much you want to give? Giving should not be Pepe say it must be 10% off, and every first salary in the year I must be the one to collect it. This your middleman you won't come too much, okay? Kí ló dé now? Nigerians pray to the God of Israel, but Israel is using iron dome, while Nigerians are using lost chosen vest and water miracle. That is the brainwash. Yeah, effect of brainwash. Effect of brainwash. Consider teenagers are already creating apps, fintech apps in China and everywhere. We are teaching our own children how to pray to God to please give them what somebody is creating in China. God, please, I want a mobile phone. The same way God give you brain, it's the same way God gave that child brain. We build that app where you pray for God. He created somebody created vehicle and put a price on it. You are going to God say, God, please give me money. I want to buy what that guy created. I don't know how else to break it down. The level of, I don't want to use some words now. How do I break it down? Like, is that not the God? Is the creator, the manufacturer, not the God you are indirectly praying to? You're indirectly praying to that guy now. We create that thing. Might be your God that moment, because what you need there in hand. That moment, that's your need. Now him be the God where you want need them from. In other words, Nigerians have many gods because they can't create. You have a god in China producing your gadgets. You have a god in Germany producing your vehicle. You have a god in America producing. You have a god in Switzerland printing your money. What can you do? What, Nigerians, what can we do? Nothing. Nothing. But we pray for everything. Hallelujah. Offering time. Drop your offering. Oh. We want to go and get the body of the guy, and I'll definitely announce how much we collect. That transparency is important here. I'm not looking to profit from anybody's misfortune. If you want to give me separately, you'll say, guy, you don't try. This one is for you. I'll appreciate it. But money collected for a purpose must be for that purpose. I'm not looking to profit from anybody's misfortune. It's just unfortunate that the funds collected previously for this purpose that we use the father's account to take, some stories happen to it. Some stories happen to that money. That is why I decided to, now at this point, I just have to take it by myself. Just reason. He's asking if I'm doing any presentation on the recent petition submitted by Oloye Sunday Igbo to the UK government regarding the Yoruba self-determination. I cannot do that in isolation. I would rather, maybe I would just reach out to Koiki, the spokesperson to Oloye Igbo, and see how we can do some sensitization talk together and some like advocacy talk together on a live show like this. The reason is these people have gone far in that advocacy, and I do not know what stage or which stage they are at now. And I also remember that there was also division in the camps recently, especially with Maegun, who was the chief fund collector for them at a later time, also disengaged with them. He alleged some scandals and all that. Recall also that earlier there was his sister Maureen. I've not seen her in a long time now. I don't know what happened to her channel, but I've not been seeing her shows lately. Maybe because I was offline for a while with my offline work. Maureen was also at a point that madam also assisted them to raise fund, but later also came out to accuse them. So, because I'm not really clear about the agitation, the advocacy is a great one, is a nice one, no doubt. I mean, it's a right. Self-determination is a right, and there's nothing wrong with such advocacy. My only worry now is I don't know the extent to which they have gone, and I would not want to make mockery of myself to jump on an advocacy. I don't know to what extent or what role I really can play. Okay, but for me, agitation for self-determination is one I can support, whether by Arewa, Biafra, or Udua. The reason is the foundation upon which Nigeria was built itself is faulty, fraudulent. The Constitution, Abdulsalami Constitution of 1999, itself faulty, fraudulent. And everything from foundation needs to be reworked. So those advocacies, I agree completely with them. It's just that I do not know what and to what extent they have worked. So I will need to first apprise myself before knowing where to come in. But maybe one of these days I could just reach out to Koiki and see if we can do a live together. So sorry about that. Yes, I will do. I'll reach out to Koiki. See Majek, I see your hand here. See Majek just sent a See Majek did a super chat of, you see the amount on the screen. Thank you so much, T Majek. T Majek is a sure person anytime, any day. Sure person. Sure, very sure person. Thank you so much, T Majek. Yes, trust me, I'm definitely going to reach out to Koiki. I'll try to do a message to him later today. My only Okay, let's talk about. I don't want to react to um, the agitation by Biafrans. I recognize their rights to self determination too, and I think they were even the first at it because they had been doing their own since beginning of Nigeria. They don't want to be part. uh Yorubas, Hausas were still patching it. Igbos largely have never wanted to be. So, but the only gray area I see with their own is that it is involving too much of bloodshed, and uh, I'm not too cool. Agitations, advocacies, and all of those things can take a cooperative form, and they don't necessarily have to involve maiming, you know, wasting. No, 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 no. I do not think so. But it is what it is. So I don't want to pull mouth because you know them. If you come begin a hand, so I don't want to. So that said, I just want to keep it short like that. I don't want to talk too much, but I've given the summary of what I feel, my attitude to each of these agitators and their agitations. That's my attitude. I don't know the extent to which the Yoruba Nation agitation has gone. I've heard a lot of I've heard some scandals about it. I want to know how to comment. I don't want to put my head anyhow. Um, Biafrans, they know what they are doing. So that's my attitude to the agitation so far. Thank you so much, everybody. It's a nice Sunday. Enjoy the rest of it. I love you all. Team Ajek, thank you so much once again. I love you. I love everybody. Bye for now. Please do not forget your offering. Put your offering there. Today, let our offering be to humanity, to the cause of